And this ETF, it really just lowers the barrier for anyone that really wants to get into crypto or Bitcoin.
In the news, though, this is an interesting thing too. US banks are buying Bitcoin, and right now they literally represent 4%. So now all of the ETFs, they have 4% of all Bitcoins. What do you think about that, man?
Hey, don't do as I say, do as I do, right? These banks are buying. What does that tell you? They know what's coming. They're trying to get cheap Bitcoin from the people. They're relying on paper hands to sell. For someone that's just getting into Bitcoin, just realize that this volatility that you see, the up and down, this is normal. This is part of the game. And these institutions that are these large ETFs, these US banks, they all know this is a good time to accumulate. This is a pretty solid price to be at. So that's what they're doing, So don't get faked out.
And this is not a speculation. There is every time there is SEC filings that the banks and institutions they have to do. So that's the reason how we know that U.S. banks they are buying Bitcoin because of they call it the Form 13F, and actually has the detail of who is the bank that is buying it and how much they are buying it, because again it's regulated by the government. So that's where we can see what are the names of all of the different banks that they are buying the ETFs. So this is what we expected when we were talking maybe several months ago, because we were so excited that the ETF was getting closer with BlackRock, right? And we call it out here in the pod. It's like if BlackRock is in, he's gonna bend the arm of the government, right?
That's right.
And now this ETF, why it's so important is because it takes some knowledge to be able to get into crypto, to get your wallet and all of that, and for the mass. But a lot of the people, even still, I don't feel that it's still mass, right? Even I know a lot of people knows about ETFs or how to buy even an ETF. And in US, we are a little more used to, because we have enough our 401ks and things like that. But in other literally areas of the world, they don't know neither, right? So, but the ETF is a good entry point for people to even use it in their 401ks, right? So without having to open a wallet.
That's a really good point, Mondo. I know a lot of people might be put off by the technology side of it. And so up until now, you might say, oh, it's nerds doing this, right? We have, and I'll put myself in that as a nerd. We have the technology chops to be able to do all of that, right? And this ETF, it really just lowers the barrier for anyone that really wants to get into crypto or Bitcoin specifically, is that, they take care of all of that for you. And again, that's why they charge a small fee too, It's not just a money grab for them, but there is some underlying tech that they have to maintain and manage and have the security and all of that. And that's just to make it easier for the masses to be able to buy it. So ETF is a really good vehicle for that. We want to make sure that the BlackRocks, the ARK Invest of the world are able to easily buy for us that really just want an easy on ramp or an easy off ramp to buy and sell. So again, not financial advice. We just want to share this information with you guys so that y'all are aware of these options. If it's something that you've been thinking about, how do I get into Bitcoin? These ETFs are going to be one of the easier ways of doing it.
Yeah, and I think that you don't have to go like maxi on Bitcoin, right? So you can just get 2%, like literally your bankroll, right, on your whole amount of net worth. You will not basically be all bankroll for 2%, right? So but again, it allows you to diversify a little bit and allows you to kind of get interested on the whole crypto environment, right? We always said about Bitcoin, but there's a lot of coins. I personally don't care about those, right? I'm trying to build generational wealth, and with the other ones, it's hard because it's actually depending, and that's what the government is trying to figure out too. Are they more like a securities? Are they more closer related to a company because it's a group of people that they are trying to do this called ICOs, right? So, and I personally, I feel that it's just the rules are more spelled out for Bitcoin, right, and than others. Ethereum is a different thing, which for me feels more like a smart contract, like a literally a piece of technology. But the other ones sometimes they call it shit coins, right?
Yeah. And I will say, to kind of add to that, don't think that all of these different shit coins, they're very easy to make. Like, I don't know. I remember, do you remember we talked about doing gold coin? GOL, like goal, like soccer?
Yeah.
Like, you can make it in an afternoon. The rest of it is just like marketing essentially. So
Mhm.
like, just think about it, like something that can come up that easily. um, you don't really, that's more like gambling, I would say. And
Mhm.
again, I will profess that I'm more of a Bitcoin maxi, but only because I've gotten burned so many times also already on those things, and I know how easy it is just to kind of make one of those, and the rest of it is just put up a website, do some marketing, and say, hey, come buy our stuff. And that's all it is.
There
A lot
was
of these
a
times.
YouTuber, I think that his name is Bayahesa or Bayahisa, and the guy was like maybe, I don't know, 19, 20 years old, and he started actually doing a shitcoin.
Mhm.
But the funny part is that it went up to 15 million with the amount of people and all of that, right? Because
Uh-huh.
he has a good audience. And then he documented the whole process. I forgot the name, but it might be like a poodle coin or something like that.
Poodle coin.
And he was trying just obviously to meme the Dogecoin, right,
Uh-huh.
and the Shiba coin. So he created some coin like that. But the funny thing is that he documented the whole process, and yeah, it just goes to show you that you might be lucky, right? In some of those coins that they are offering, some they are foundational and they are trying to help the whole ecosystem, but some other ones are just literally marketing teams behind it, just trying to kind of get some money there. But yeah, I think that just be careful. The ones that we kind of obviously Bitcoin is number one. The other one that I'm into is Ethereum, but uh, in a careful way, right? So it's like I even Ethereum, right? Like the SEC is looking into them to see if they're gonna tag them as a security.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's a key difference, I think. Right now, the SEC has already said Bitcoin's not a security, but everything else, the assumption is right now. In terms of safety and things like that about those projects, like the SEC could come down on them at any point, and you kind of lose your investment there because the likelihood of all of that crashing is super high at that point. So, just
Yeah,
a warning out there.
yeah. I think that we have a good one, man.
Yeah. Hey, well, and you know what? That's all what we've got for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We love to hear from you. We love the comments. We like to talk about them here in the podcast. I know we've got a lot of people preparing for the having party. We love seeing those comments. We're right there with you. Again, another plug for our viral Bitcoin meme songs. Check them out. They're on our channel. We'll link them in the show notes. But that's all that we've got for today. So we'll see y'all next time. Dale.
Dale.